Spring has arrived. The fields are lush green, full of life and promise. But in this land, there's always a persistent threat lurking in the shadows: wild boars, the destroyers capable of tearing everything apart. Today, we set out not for sport, but to carry out a mission to defend life and livelihood. All equipment was ready: rifles, scopes, and the helicopter, our ultimate war machine. This is the farmer's battle for survival, and we are the final line of defense. As the first light of dawn broke, the helicopter sliced through the sky. Tony and I moved into our sign zones as planned. The wind roared past our ears. I tightened my grip on the rifle, scanning every inch of land below. No intruder could escape. The battle to protect the fields had begun. The helicopter closed in on the first lush meadow, a known feeding ground for wild boars. Morning dew still glistened on the cockpit glass, but didn't hinder our view. A lone boar moved beneath us. I pulled the trigger. The first bullet struck clean. The animal collapsed instantly. Immediately, I shifted focus to another trying to flee. Fired. The second destroyer was neutralized on the spot. That kind of precision was exactly what the farmers had been waiting for. Meanwhile, Tony's helicopter swept across a brown field. Below, a herd of wild boars was scattering from their hiding spots. Tony aimed carefully. Each shot echoed through the air as target after target fell, sending the rest into chaos and confusion. A perfect start to his mission today. But before he could even pause for a breath, another herd emerged, two massive boars leading the charge, desperate to cross the boundary and escape. Tony fired a double burst, two precise shots. Both beasts went down instantly. His calmness and control cleared the field completely, securing the area from further damage. Once the first field was secured, we wasted no time. The helicopter skimmed over a stretch of sparse woodland, a dangerous movement corridor. Flying low over the treetops, we spotted movement, boars hiding, weaving through the brush. We tracked them relentlessly, leaving no room for escape. Shots rang out, quick, decisive, clean. Each fallen boar meant one less threat to the ecosystem below. Clearing the wooded area, Tony and I split up again, each heading toward a new zone. This time, Tony entered a field carpeted in rich green grass. Before he could even admire the view, a wild boar was already tearing across the meadow. A single shot, and the invader dropped on the very grass he tried to destroy. Moments later, at the field's edge, a large herd burst into chaos. They had been perfectly hidden beneath the tall grass. There was no time for elaborate tactics. Tony unleashed a rapid-fire barrage. The thunderous sound of gunfire echoed as bullets swept through the charging formation. One by one, the massive boars fell, completely neutralized. His quick reaction saved the field's vegetation from total devastation. While Tony fought in the green fields, my helicopter hovered over a drive plane, open, flat, and perfect for speed. I quickly locked onto 4 boars sprinting across the earth. They moved like black arrows streaking over brown soil. I cut them off, no escape allowed. The gunfire roared in bursts, echoing through the valley. Suddenly, the pilot spotted a lone boar weaving between small mounds of dirt. I adjusted aim and fired. One clean shot, a perfect takedown. No time to rest. One final boar bolted across the far end of the field. I locked on, calculated distance, and wind speed. Squeezed the trigger. The bullet flew, a sentence delivered mid-run. Another threat eliminated, another future crop safeguard. With the fields cleared, the operation was nearly complete. We turned back toward base, but I never let my guard down. Sure enough, while flying over the dry plains, a dark figure moved below. The final threat. I locked onto the target, one decisive shot. The bullet streaked through the air, ending the chase instantly. The sweep mission was officially complete. We returned only after confirming there were no more signs of chaos or destruction. We had succeeded in eliminating the major threats. Each time an invader falls, it's another victory for the farmers, a declaration of ownership over this land, and a promise to protect the seeds of tomorrow, their enduring source of life.
Amid vast fields and distant mountains, a silent battle unfolds every day. Wild boars. They appear suddenly, devastating crops, killing livestock, and threatening the livelihoods of countless people. To protect their hard-earned harvests, hunters like Max and Adam have resolved to take action. So, what challenges will they face next? At the meadow, Max had an unexpectedly successful hunting trip. While heading toward the field, he suddenly heard a strange noise from the bushes along the path. Max immediately slowed down, observing carefully. A dark shadow burst out. Without hesitation, he fired. The shot hit the first target of the day, signaling a promising start. The battle continued, with Max quietly scanning his surroundings. Any small sound could be a sign of wild boars lurking nearby. As Max passed through a recently harvested field, he noticed freshly churned soil and new tracks. Without hesitation, he followed the trail, and then the grass rustled, and a massive wild boar charged out. Max fired instantly. This time, the target was taken down cleanly, preventing any further damage to the field. Quickly regaining his composure, Max shifted his position, ready for the next encounters, determined to eliminate the threat to the villagers. Continuing his pursuit, Max spotted several wild boars fleeing toward the meadow. He immediately picked up speed, chasing them down and cutting them off from the opposite side. An opportunity arose when one broke from the group. Boom! Another perfect takedown. The sound of gunfire echoed relentlessly. As the chase momentarily subsided, Max stood still for a few seconds amidst the field littered with boar carcasses. The hunt concluded with dozens of wild boars eliminated, an impressive tally. Meanwhile, Adam was on a journey exploring the rugged mountains of Turkey, a known hotspot for large herds of wild boars. His instincts were spot on. On the hillside, groups of boars appeared scattered across the terrain. From his elevated vantage point, Adam could easily survey the entire landscape. There it was. After a crisp gunshot, the first target fell. Not long after, more precise shots rang out through the quiet valley, eliminating a significant number of wild boars in the area. Before he could catch his breath, a sudden noise caught Adam's attention. A massive wild boar was stumbling, clearly disoriented, before coming to a halt. Seizing the moment, Adam took aim. Headshot, a clean and skillful shot. In the distance, bushes rustled faintly. Adam slowly shifted his position, aiming his rifle forward, patiently waiting for his prey and striking at the perfect moment. Caught off guard, the boars had no time to react and fell completely under Adam's gunfire. Undeterred, Adam ventured deeper into the neighboring hills. Herds of wild boars continued foraging, seemingly oblivious to the approaching danger. From the perfect ambush position, he took down target after target. A few boars made a desperate dash for escape, but Adam swiftly pursued and ended the battle decisively. By the end of the hunt, Adam had taken down an impressive number of wild boars, significantly easing the threat to the agricultural areas in the mountains. It's clear that both hunters embodied the true spirit of the hunt. With skill, patience, and one decisive second, they saved the livelihoods of the people in these regions. As night falls and everything slips into slumber, John's backyard comes alive with heavy thuds and rustling sounds. These are the signs of a massive wild boar herd, which has repeatedly ravaged his vegetable garden and dug up craters in the yard. After countless sleepless nights, John decides it's time to take action. Today, with iron traps prepared and ready, he sets them up around the house, determined to eliminate these troublesome boars. Follow him as the battle begins. After careful observation, John sets the first trap in a flat area frequently visited by wild boars. The large iron trap requires considerable effort to install. After placing bait inside and thoroughly checking the equipment, he sets up several more traps, preparing for a long, thrilling night. The next morning, John and his wife return to the trap site with eager anticipation. From a distance, chaotic noises signal that the boar herd has been caught. They're not too surprised, as last night, around 8 p.m., the boars had swarmed into the trap to feed. With a simple maneuver, John activated the iron trap, locking them inside. What a sight! Before him is a herd of gray-black boars, not overly large but uniformly sized. They panic, charging into the iron bars, creating resounding crashes that echo through the forest. About 20 boars, each one fierce and formidable. Without hesitation, John draws his rifle and swiftly takes down each boar. They pay the price for the countless nights of destroying the vegetable garden and threatening the peace of his home. Once finished, the entire herd is quickly removed from the trap and loaded onto the truck. In addition to the trap already set, last night John activated several others, particularly in the backyard. Around 10 p.m., a massive herd of boars swarmed in, silently munching on the bait scattered on the ground. Waiting for the perfect moment, John swiftly triggered the traps, locking the troublemakers inside. This morning, brimming with uncontainable excitement, John and his wife hurried to check the traps. The sight left both John and the neighbors in awe. The trapped herd was unprecedented in size, including massive boars with distinctive gray-black coats and smaller ones with mottled or striped patterns like watermelons. This was undoubtedly the largest herd John had ever caught. After taking down the entire herd with his rifle, the neighbors eagerly pitched in to help John remove the boars from the traps. They didn't just assist, they shared in the joy of eliminating the pests that had caused so much trouble for the area. With their help, John quickly loaded the boars onto the truck, saving immense time and effort. With this triumph, they certainly deserve to celebrate with a hearty wild boar feast. It's wonderful to share the joy with neighbors and savor the fruits of a thrilling night of hunting together. After dealing with the trap near the house, John moved on to check the final trap located at the edge of the forest. The distance wasn't too far, so he decided to take action that morning. Upon arriving, he noticed the trapped boar herd wasn't large, but with about 10 animals, it was still an excellent haul. The boars crowded together, frantically searching for an escape, but their efforts were futile against the sturdy iron trap. This time, John decided to capture them all alive. To prepare, he brought a large truck bed and planned to herd each wild boar into it. However, the task was far from easy. The boars were cunning, sensing the imminent danger and resisting fiercely. Each boar fought to break free, making it harder than ever to control them. It took a long time, but John and his wife eventually managed to coax each boar into the truck, concluding a tense but highly successful hunting trip. The final task of the day was to check the large trap John had set up the previous night. Since the boar herd had been confined since evening, there was no need to rush. The previous night, in his excitement, John had decided to check the trap right away. Upon arriving, he couldn't help but feel satisfied. The entire herd was securely contained within the iron trap. With that, they returned home, eagerly anticipating the results to be harvested the next morning. This morning, they returned to the trap's location, and eliminating the wild boars was much easier. The herd included large boars with thick, glossy black fur, creating an impressive sight. Now, the remaining task was to load the entire herd onto the truck and transport them back. Although John was still considering how to handle the boars, the immediate priority was to complete the job at hand. These results called for celebration, and perhaps a wild boar feast would be a fitting reward for the local community. Never before had John trapped so many wild boars, and it was truly an exhilarating feeling. With the help of neighbors and meticulous preparation, he successfully eliminated the destructive herd.
We got a little battery left in it.
3, 2, bang. Bang.
In the quiet darkness of the night, Max and his cousin Chris Robinson silently advanced into the familiar field where giant wild boars frequently roamed. These destructive pests had become a nightly nightmare, relentlessly invading and ravaging crops without mercy. Despite numerous hunts, the boar population continued to grow, forcing them to persistently confront the challenge. Join us to follow this thrilling night hunt. As soon as they set foot on the field, the group swiftly executed their plan, placing a speaker emitting sounds at a strategic location. Moments later, the recorded squeals of wild boars echoed, drawing the attention of others nearby. Curious, the boars cautiously approached, lured by the sound of their kind in the dark night. Though typically vigilant, the cover of darkness seemed to dull their senses, with some unable to resist their instincts and charging toward the sound. Max's scope quickly locked onto the largest boar, the one reacting most intensely to the speaker's call. His heart raced as he waited for the perfect moment, and when the boar paused, a fatal shot ended its hopes of escape. The boar collapsed to the ground, marking the first trophy of the night. But the hunt was far from over. The calls continued to echo, and more boars kept charging in. Seizing these precious opportunities, Max took aim and brought down several more from advantageous positions. However, the remaining herd quickly sensed the danger and fled, slipping out of their shooting range. The night hunt still held many challenges ahead. After the initial volley of shots sent the boar herd scattering in panic, they moved along the forest edge, venturing deeper into the field where wild boars often took refuge. This area, adjacent to dense woods, was an ideal spot for more boars to appear. Through the thermal scope, Max spotted a massive wild boar lumbering ahead. Its image was vivid, large, with distinctive black fur, standing out starkly against the pitch-black field. He quietly approached, trying to get as close as possible to ensure a precise shot, but suddenly, the boar seemed to sense his presence. With no other option, Max fired immediately, taking down the destructive beast before it could escape. From a distance, near the forest edge, another boar was foraging. Sensing imminent danger, it bolted at full speed. Max let out a loud shout, startling the boar and causing it to freeze for a moment. In those fleeting seconds, he aimed and took it down with a perfect shot. As the night deepened, the number of boars increased, and they were larger than before. In a moment of exhilaration, Max and Chris fired simultaneously, dropping a boar on the spot. From their advantageous shooting positions, they continued to take down more boars, each gunshot felling another target. The image of crops uprooted and ravaged by wild boars flashed through Max's mind, fueling his determination in this night hunt. The relentless gunfire echoed across the field, signaling a highly successful hunt and a stern warning to the boar herd. Though engrossed in foraging, the wild boar herd remained highly vigilant, sticking close to the forest, ready to dart into hiding at the slightest hint of danger. The group patiently lay in ambush, waiting for the perfect moment to aim at the largest boars. Despite their attempts to flee, it was all in vain. Moving along the field, they spotted a large herd leisurely feeding, completely unaware. This was the perfect opportunity. The two brothers immediately prepared, selecting the most advantageous shooting angles. The gunfire roared, sending the entire herd into a frantic, scattered retreat. The slower boars were quickly taken down, while the faster ones disappeared into the dense forest. But even when hidden behind thickets, the thermal scopes revealed their positions, and they were thoroughly eliminated. Each encounter with a large herd sparked a surge of excitement. Bullets flew carelessly, with little time for precise aiming, but even stray shots struck the panicking, fleeing boars. In just a few short minutes, the herd was decimated, leaving behind the marks of a successful hunt. Moving closer to the water pools, they were certain the wild boar herd would be there. This was a frequent haunt, with their footprints still etched into the damp ground. Max targeted the largest boar. Both brothers fired simultaneously, then immediately chased after the panicked boars fleeing in disarray. Thanks to the thermal scope, night hunting became easier than ever. The boar's images appeared clearly in the scope, and with the lift of the rifle, Max could take down his prey swiftly. The herd scrambled to escape, unaware that their every movement was tracked and targeted with pinpoint accuracy. The night hunt lasted longer than anticipated, but the constant appearance of boar herds kept them energized, forgetting their fatigue. However, as the night waned, the gunfire grew sparse. It was time for Max to head home, carrying his valuable trophies. Thank you for watching. If you found this exciting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for the next adventures. See you in the upcoming videos.